To those of you who have any failure to understand or appreciate what's going on in Gaza and Israel's disgusting behavior, complete lack of morality, and Trump's weakness, I want you to watch the Daily Show this Monday, yesterday, and watch the dialogue between Peter Barnard and Jon Stewart. Because those two American Jews who are constantly attacked by other Jews as not being pro-Israel and therefore being themselves anti-Semitic, they rebutted everything everybody had to say, and the passion and the compassion that these two gentlemen showed is a message to every American Jew. Listen to that and follow their lead. What Israel is doing is putting its mark as one of the most evil governments in the history of this country. When you look at the pictures of these little children, they just showed an 11-year-old girl who was nothing but skin and bones, starved to death because of Israeli policy. It makes me sick to my stomach. And those of you who think Donald Trump is the greatest president that ever was, he is the weakest president that ever was. He's doing not a damn thing. Today I finally saw him saying, well, Ivania is looking at this and she's upset and I'm upset at the starving children. In the meantime, this couldn't take place without American arms. We built their Air Force. We've built their Golden Dome. We have provided all the ammunition that they use. Without us, Israel has no army. It has no Air Force. It could not begin to do what it's doing in Gaza. And Donald Trump is sitting there. We cuts off funding here, he cuts off funding there, but when it comes to doing something about shutting Israel down, he doesn't lift a finger. He talks about it. That's all that man ever does. They call him the taco. Trump always caves in. What Trump really does is he doesn't do anything. He's a talker, but he's not a doer. This is one of the things that makes me so mad about this guy. He sits there and he tells Russia, I know you're bombing innocent civilians in Kyiv, and what they're doing to Kyiv is almost as bad as what the Jews in Israel are doing to the people in Gaza. Destroying an entire city, destroying all the buildings, destroying the infrastructure, starving their people. This is what Russia's doing, and Trump finally got tough with Putin. He's, well, he talks good, but then, that night he drops more bombs on Kyiv. So Trump finally gets tough, and he says, I'm going to give them only 50-some more days, and if they don't stop it then I'm going to talk about imposing sanctions on people who buy oil from Russia. Oh, gee, only 50 days, says Putin. Yeah, I'll take that deal any day. Well, I'll drop bombs for 50 days, and then I'll stop, because there won't be anything left to bomb. Why doesn't Trump step in right now, today, immediately, and impose these? The Republicans and Democrats had a joint bill that would impose these immediate sanctions on the countries who buy oil, India and several others, who buy all their oil from Russia, to put massive tariffs on those countries until they stop buying oil from Russia. Why does he not do that now? Russia is bombing now. Why isn't he doing something about it now? Israel is committing horrible crimes against these people, these innocent people, particularly children, in Gaza. And I'm sick and damn tired of listening to the excuses. I just saw Bibi Netanyahu on TV saying, there's no starvation in Gaza. The one man in the world who thinks there's no starvation in Gaza. I'd love to see that happen to his children, and let's see how he reacted. And those of you who think Trump's a wonderful president, or think that Bibi Netanyahu is fine because he's all for Israel, and then if we don't support Israel, we're anti-Semitic, just think about how you would feel if that was your family, if those were your children. Just think about what that means. What these men are doing, these men with power, who have no business having that kind of power. That's one of the unfortunate things about civilization. We tend to put people who are extremists in positions of power, and then we stand back and we're helpless because they wield the power that we ceded to them. And the people who voted for Donald Trump, shame on you. I knew what this guy was going to do. You should have known it, but you didn't. You voted because you didn't like political correctness or whatever reason you might have. Those are bad reasons. I know what this man was made of. He was made of tissue paper. He has no fiber. He has no moral strength. He has no character. And I'm sick to death of watching what's going on to these people in Gaza. It makes me sick to my stomach. And I was watching that, and I was reminded me of these pictures of the Jews in the concentration camps where they found these people starving to death, ribs and bones. That's what the little children are looking like in Gaza right now. was bad enough they did it to these people in the concentration camps, but at least most of them were adults. These are little kids. This 11-year-old girl that starved to death. If you can't look at that and feel just anguish, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you, Mr. Trump. Why aren't you doing something about this? And I'm sorry to get angry, but if you're not angry when you see this happening, there's something wrong with you. So I hope maybe I've made you a little angry. If you're angry, I'm used to that. I want you angry at Trump. I want you angry at the government. I want you speaking out. I want you writing to your Congress people. I want you marching in the streets. And one other thing, I get so tired. It's unbelievable. It's like something happens when people get older. I'm listening to people who are younger than I am, but they're like the older generation, saying, "Well, these kids today that they don't supporting Israel. They don't know history, and they don't know what's going." And I'm thinking, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah. When we were speaking out against the Vietnam War, we heard that from people who are in their 60s and 70s saying, these people, they don't understand communism. They're not patriotic. They're not true Americans. Well, guess what? If the Vietnam War was wrong, just like this Gaza war is wrong, just like the war in Ukraine is wrong, most wars are wrong. We saw it. We spoke out against it. We were criticized. I didn't give a damn what they said about it, or about me, or about other people, because we were right. And now we're seeing the older generation saying, oh, these young kids, they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand how important Israel is. No, they understand what the Israelis are doing to these people in Gaza. They understand human beings. They understand human suffering, and they're speaking out about it. And if you are not, there's something wrong with you. Sorry to end on an angry note, but it makes me sick to my stomach to see what's going on over there. I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death of watching this. Man's inhumanity to man. And it's totally unnecessary. It could be stopped. Trump could stop it tomorrow. And if you think he's the greatest president that ever lived, you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, what is my criteria for greatness?